Good afternoon, everyone. I want to call this meeting to order. Can you please stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance Thank you. Can I ask everyone to put your cell phones in silent mode? Thank you. The first part of the meeting is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on any topic of the published agenda should be sure you were signed on the sheet here that I will call your name. And we'll be working down the sign-in sheet, calling you up to speak. Please note that if you are here to speak on the topic of assemblies on town property, which is on the agenda for possible introduction today under new business, you may do so, but we will not respond to any comments at today's meeting. If introduced today, there will be a first reading, a public hearing of the ordinance on November 18, and a second reading, a public hearing with a possible vote on December 9. At this time, we are going to hear three ordinances related to fast food restaurants. We're going to do them all in one. Are there any comments from the town council before I turn it over to the public?
Well, we should read through these.
What?
We should read through these, Mayor.
Oh,
Yeah, do you want me to go ahead and read through these? So the three ordinance that are up for a public hearing today is the second reading of an ordinance amending sections 140-26, 140-128, and 140-152 of the Ocean View Land Use and Development Code by defining various permitted types of fast food restaurants, adding them to the table of permitted uses as special exceptions in certain zoning districts, adding development standards for each, and amending section 140-121 to add surgical centers for renumbering purposes only. The second ordinance that we will be addressing is a second reading of an ordinance amending section 140-59E1 of the Ocean View Land Use and Development Code by adding fast food restaurants with drive-through, fast food restaurants with drive-in as uses to the required off-street parking spaces chart, revising the number of off-street parking spaces required for restaurants, and establishing the number of off-street parking spaces required for the aforementioned types of fast food restaurants. The third ordinance up for a second reading is an ordinance amending section 140-65 of the Ocean View Land Use and Development Code by adding additional types of signs associated with fast food restaurants with drive-in to signs permitted in GB1 and GB2 zones. These three ordinances have previously been introduced by the council. They had a first reading at the last meeting, and this is the second reading of these meetings. So we'll have discussion with the council if they have any questions or concerns, and if not, then we can open it up to a public hearing. So one more thing for the record, everyone. These are three separate ordinances because they are all related to fast food restaurants. For efficiency and the sake of time, we're going to address these in one public hearing. If you have comments regarding a particular ordinance, if you want to say expressly what ordinance it is by reference to the agenda being the public hearing being A, B, or C, or you can reference the code section if you have any comments regarding the ordinance.
Just want to make clear that it's just for these three that are on second hearing. It can be a little confusing.
okay, before I ask for public comment, is there any comment from town council?
I have nothing.
No. Okay. So if there's anyone who has a question on these three ordinances only, please stand up, come to the podium, state your name and your address.
If you have questions or comments.
And they should have signed in as well.
All right.
Ms. Scott?
Thank you. My apologies, I did not sign in advance.
I'll sign you in.
Thank you. Pam Scott here on behalf of Nastassos Holdings LLC, which is an owner of property in Ocean View on Atlantic Avenue. I just wanted to indicate that we have worked very closely with Ken Simoneau and Jim Lober on these three ordinances. We were very happy when the town was agreeable to considering changes to your land use code to accommodate these uses. We think it's been a very good process, a lot of open dialogue back and forth about the requirements, and obviously we are in support of the ordinances and again appreciative of Ken's work on this matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other comments? If not, are we going to vote on each one individually?
I think we can just vote on each one individually, please, if we could.
All right.
You know, if we don't have any other comments, we're gonna go ahead and close the proceedings to the public, and then we can have discussion and motions as necessary, but we'll vote on each one individually.
Okay.
So we're gonna break it down by A, B, C, just say, vote for,
Well, I prefer that you approve the motion to amend section 1.4. I would prefer that you say the code sections per section A of the agenda. So the motion would be, I make a motion to amend ordinance 140, 126, 140, 128, and 140, 152. You can just read the whole thing, that would probably be better.
I'd like to make a motion, we amend section 2A, 140-26, 140-128, and 140-152.
Do I hear a second?
Of the
Second.
Ocean View Land Use and Development Code?
Yes.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
So passes 4-0. I need a motion on B. So a motion on B?
All right, so that, for the record, there were no nays on that?
No nays.
All right, and that passed
4-0.
4-0. Item, you have an,
I'd like to make a motion, we accept the second reading of 2B and second reading of ordinance amending section 140-59-E1 as the development, as the land use and development code by adding fast food restaurants.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So passes 4-0. No A's, no nays. Do I hear a motion for C?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion on voting on second reading of an ordinance amending section 140-65 of the Ocean View Land Use and Development Code by additional types of signs associated with fast food restaurants with drive-in to the signs permitted in GB1 and GB2 zones.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So passes 4-0. No nays. Now going to ask for a motion to adopt the agenda.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the agenda of October 14th, 2025.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So passes 4-0. I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of September 9, 2025.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion of the minutes of September 9, 2025.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So passes 4-0. Moving on to communications. Upcoming fall workshop schedule.
Yeah, so, Mayor and Council, I wanted to make sure I put it in your account, in the packet, for your awareness. We do have 4 workshops coming up with a lot of work to accomplish. They're council workshops. On November 18th at 12:30, we will begin 2 topics, the police compensation analysis, and then follow that up with the remaining proceeds from the sale of our water distribution system. Both of those, the path forward I'm suggesting is that at the November 18th meeting that follows directly thereafter, you'll have a recommendation from me for how we are to proceed with those two topics. So after that, in December, we have a council workshop on December 2nd, 3 p.m., and that is on the International Association of Chiefs of Police risk analysis that we've completed. Again, the path forward for that one would be a recommendation at the December 9th meeting from me for a path forward on that. And then the final council workshop would be January 13th at 1 p.m., and that would be in relationship to our evaluation of making a health insurance change to the Delaware Valley Health Trust. And I, again, would be making a recommendation on that at the January meeting. All of these workshops are related to pertinent items for the FY27 budget. Sorry to have everything falling at one time, but that's the way it's playing out. And I think we have some good information to share.
Thank you. Moving on to the Assawoman Canal Trail update.
I'll take that as well. Just wanted to copy you on this email from that we got in from resident Mr. what is his first name? Stanley Borowski. It's an email to DENRAC. He has been reaching out about the additional section of the Assawoman Trail and when is it going to be started and what phase it's in. We've been reaching out on his behalf, giving him answers from DENRAC, and I just wanted to share all of his interest. He's got 15 different comments that he's asked them, and as of close of business on Friday, he had not had any word back yet. So we'll continue to keep you updated, and we'll continue to assist to get that information from DENRAC.
Thank you. The next item is, I just wanted to let the town know that Governor Mayor has appointed me to the Police Officer Standards and Training Commission. It's a 3-year position without pay. And that begins immediately. Moving on to reports, the financial report, Tom Cox.
Thank you. Before you have the monthly financial update as of September 30th, 2025. As of the end of September, we've collected 97.98 of our current year's taxes. We currently have 5 accounts with properties with prior year due. We're working with them to get those taken care of. Moving on to our reserve and committed funds. The Emergency Reserve Trust Fund has $1,253,815. The Capital Replacement Trust Fund has $1,395,862. The Street Repair and Replacement Trust has $1,323,069. Our Emergency Services Enhancement Fund has $1,136,861. That comes down to, at the end of September, we consist of 38 new home construction permits. We've budgeted 68, so we're less than halfway through the year and over halfway through our budgeted. And it also has a surcharge of the 0.5% of the construction permits. Onto our transfer tax, as of September 30th, 43.5% was from new construction, 2.9% from land sales, and 53.6% from resales of existing homes. So far, since May, we've had 24 new construction sales, 14 land sales, and 54 resale of homes. The end of September, we're a little under 400,000 ahead of our up-to-date target amount. We are getting ready to go into the slow season, and we want to keep in mind that once the 2 new or the completion of 2 developments are finished, we'll be going back and be mainly depending on our resales. So wanted to let you know that in July, the town was presented again with the Government Financial Officers Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for the 3rd year. This year also receiving a special recognition for the capital program section. I'll be adding the medallion to our plaque this evening. As of period 5, We should be at 42% utilization. We're at 37, so we're right on target of keeping to our budget within the year. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you.
Well, congratulations on getting this distinguished budget presentation award again.
Thank you.
You've done a great job, thank you. I have a question on the chart on the next page. If you have the chart in front of you,
Which one? Page 3?
page 3, yes.
Okay.
Go down into total revenues and the Emergency Services Enhancement Fund.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like, to me, it looked like there was a mistake. You've got the actuals, the adopted budget, but they added the two together rather than subtract one from the other,
Oh, I'll take a look at it.
okay?
Yep.
Thank you. Any other questions for Don?
No.
No.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to the public safety report, Chief.
Yes, Mayor, we've got a full house tonight, so in the interest of time, I'm going to make this quick. You have a copy of our stats for last month and year to date. I'll be happy to answer any questions that the council may have regarding those. A couple points of interest. The volunteer unit logged 80 hours of volunteer service last month. Again, we always thank them for assisting us. I did mention last month that we have a new intern. We have a program with Sussex Tech High School. We have a new intern from the high school that'll be with us for the remainder of the school year. Her name is Gabriela Ramirez. And if you come by the police department, the council will see a young lady there, and she'll be assisting us in a variety of tasks there at the police department. We're happy to have her. The Office of Highway Safety conducted an on-site audit on September 3rd at the police department. The audit reviewed reimbursement vouchers, project agreements, and timesheets, financial records associated with highway safety grants. There were no problems encountered. The police department was nominated for the Bethany Fenwick Area Chamber of Commerce Community Spirit Award. So we got a nice certificate here from the Chamber of Commerce. There's ongoing voting for the Community Spirit Award, so if you're so inclined to vote for the police department, we'd encourage you to go to the Chamber website and do that. And then finally, Mr. Mayor, I want to point out, you mentioned that you were appointed to the Police Officer Standards and Training Commission. And I just want to say we're very proud of you at the police department. In my world, that's a really big deal, and we're very pleased that Governor Meyer hand-selected you for that that role there. So it's a big deal, and congratulations.
Thank you. Any questions for the chief?
No.
Thank you. Moving on to planning and zoning and development. You gonna do it? You want?
I got it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's a pleasure to be here with you this afternoon. Really no new news to report for land use and development. Shore Vista keeps working on infrastructure. Silverwoods, they continue to build homes in phases 2A, 2 and 2B. Capital improvement projects, designed for sidewalk and drainage improvements along Oakland Avenue from Central Avenue and Oakwood Avenue ongoing. This project brings connectivity from Woodland Avenue to John West Park via Oakland Avenue, Central Avenue, and Oakwood Avenue. Construction funding will be provided by the Delaware Department of Transportation's Alternative Program. They will fund up to 80% of the total project cost for construction and construction engineering. Maintenance and operations, we installed new sidewalk from the parking area on Oakwood Avenue to the pavilion, also graded and sodded the area. There's a picture in the packet of the completed work. And then we completed some drainage improvements on Westview, at the intersection of Sussex Drive and Kent Avenue. That project included installing approximately 32 feet of 12-inch drainage pipe under Sussex Drive and constructing approximately 100 foot of swale ditch along Kent Avenue. We also cleaned and excavated the existing ditch along Sussex Drive from Kent Avenue to Newcastle Court. Next page, code enforcement permits, COs, business and rental licenses. All in all, been a quiet month.
Thank you. Any comments, questions for Ken? No. Thank you. Moving on to the town manager's report.
Yes, Mayor and Council, and members of the public, happy to share some information. 8 Oakwood, our parking lot expansion, I'm happy to say that we have gotten all the final approvals so that we can move forward with accepting bids for the development of the expansion. Verizon cell tower to be placed on Freeman Bear Trap Dune property behind the golf course. All approvals are in, and we're anticipating a permit will be issued in the near future. Millville Volunteer Fire, the ambulance fees that we collect, it's a pass-through fund. The collection was sent to Millville Fire Company last week, and it totaled $154,350, and that's for 3,078 properties that participate. And that is to have access to discounted ambulance services if required during the year. Fire and ice update, the town and its partner, the Historic Village, right here in the park, has worked to bring the Ocean View Brewing Company into the event as a sponsor for the Historic Village. Ocean View Brewing will be offering beer tastings in Hall Store during the event, and they're creating a commemorative Ocean View IPA can for sale for 4-packs, again also for fundraising for the Historic Village. Cops and Goblins, I don't think we've reported about this. The final fundraising for the golf tournament benefiting our Cops and Goblins event was $17,350. That exceeds what we had anticipated. And of course, this effort was undertaken to help us maintain the offerings of this highly successful community engagement offering that our police department has been offering. This will be the 10th year. So we're really thrilled with the outcome of that. As you all know, the Ocean View Post Office is closed for renovations. It was sudden. There's different reasonings out there for why. Anyway, we did, that resulted in us getting a lot of calls for concerns and requests for information. Mayor and council do know that a letter was sent to U.S. Senator Coons requesting assistance in obtaining a contact person, which was proving to be difficult, so that we could get regular updates and also inquire about the possibility of having some communication about actually, you know, when will our post office be renovated. It was set up as a temporary years ago, and it's never been anything to write home about. So we're doing that process. As of October 10th, I did get communication in, back in from Senator Coons' office. It really didn't tell us too much yet, but they're waiting the investigative phase of the facility. And at this point in time, there's really no proposals back. So we'll keep at that, because we do, of course, keep getting questions about it. We're also partnering with Santa's Letters, Inc. During the Fire and Ice event that will happen in late January this year. And Santa's Letters will be here at our park. What they do is they collect letters from children and families, and they respond to every letter, but they also adopt local families and fulfill their wish list needs. So they'll, instead of being situated on Central Avenue, which was always kind of an odd little place for that to be at, they'll be right here in our park, and they will be set up in time for Old Time holiday and through the new year. So I think they'll get more exposure, so that's been good. South Coastal Village Volunteers, who are a tenant here for us in this building and a partner to us, just got their 501c3 status from the IRS. They were founded in 2020, and we brought them in as a tenant. They now have 188 volunteers providing more than 300 monthly services for over 100 members. For those of you that aren't aware, the South Coastal Village Volunteers came out of and it's an arm of originally of the Lewis Village Volunteers. And what they essentially do, their purpose is to help people as we age stay in our homes and be able to thrive in our communities, and it's been a good partnership. Burzyn's Natural Area and Trail, we held our final open house on October 2nd to share the design and the funding information for the project. We had approximately 12 people attend for this, all expressed their excitement for the project, which to date has received grant fund commitment of $2 million. I want to thank Ken Simino and our consultants from Wallace Montgomery for their dedication to bringing this very exciting project to this point where we're ready to put the bids out. So stay tuned for that. It will have a raised boardwalk over the wetlands, walking trail through the upland pines, outdoor classroom meeting space, and some other whimsical type of things that are being added. I'd also like to remind everybody, because of the holiday in November, our council meeting will take place a week later on November 18th, same place here, but our regular day fell on Veterans Day. Already mentioned the council workshops. Other than that, I have the list of things that I've been engaged in for the month, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
Thank you. Any questions for the town manager? No.
No.
Okay, thanks. Public works report?
Yes. So we'll start off with what's not on the report is all the prep we did leading up to the storm we just had. A lot of storm prep, clearing out drains and preparing equipment, and then all of our guys were on standby throughout the weekend, so they were ready to go in case we had any issues. Luckily, thank goodness we didn't. As Ken was saying, we had Caliber Construction continue the sidewalk from the entrance of the playground to the pavilion, and regraded and installed sod there. We had a lot of water sitting there, and now they did a great job. If you guys get a chance to go look at it. Greg Rosner has been working on the Cops and Goblins photo cutout boards, and is also designing cutout boards for Fire and Ice and another for Old Town Holiday Market and the tree lighting. Like I said, we're lucky to have an artist in hand that can do this type of thing, so he's doing a good job, and he's enjoying it. It's that time of year where we're doing a lot of cleanup throughout the park. There's a lot of acorns and hickory nuts and leaves falling out. So, if you guys drive past 201, the generator, we planted some emerald green arborvitaes to kind of screen it, so it's not such an eyesore as we drive by. It's going to take some time, but it'll be quick. They're fast-growing trees, and it'll look nice. Salt Air Gardeners planted their fall plants at the Blue Star Memorial. The guys went out there and mulched it, and again, everything looks nice. They've done a good job out there this year. Besides that, a lot of stuff's the same stuff we do. We go around and just maintain the park and perform daily playground inspections, pull weeds. And it's been a good month so far.
Thank you. Did we have any down trees as a result?
Not really. A lot of smaller stuff. There's a couple in neighborhoods that are on private property, but like as far as our roads and common areas, we lucked out.
Great, thanks.
Speaking of the new generator, is that up and running, everything going good?
Yep, it gets tested every Monday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I just never heard the follow-up. Okay.
It was a long process.
We did get Carol and I did get a tutorial on how the whole thing ran by the guy that installed it. So
It just exercises itself every other week, or?
every week, every Wednesday. I think at 10 a.m.
Yeah, it runs for an hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any questions for Matt? Thank you. The Millville Volunteer Fire Company report. In September, they had 256 calls, 227 of which are EMS calls. So that's 89% of their calls are ambulance service calls. Compared to last year, they're down about 11 calls. In the town of Ocean View, they had 34 calls compared to the 34 calls of last year. Any questions? No, okay. We're moving on to citizens' privilege. Any discussion listed for consideration on the items subsequently added at any time to the pre-published agenda for discussion and consideration. If anyone chooses to speak at the first citizen's privilege, he or she may not speak on the same topic at the second citizen's privilege. So I have a list of people who have questions. If you have questions related to the ordinance 77, save those for that discussion. But if you have questions on anything else, I'd be happy to hear them.
All right, anybody have any comments?
Speak now
Yeah.
about anything.
Anybody can speak now, yeah.
Does anybody have any
Yeah.
comments?
Can I ask a question? You're gonna talk about the ordinance, can we make our comments after we hear what you have to say?
There's not gonna be any talk about the ordinance, it's just getting, if mayor and council so desire, introduced. I don't wanna presume that I know that they will. But if you have anything that you'd like to say, you're welcome to say it now about anything on our published agenda, including the assembly ordinance. But we will not respond to it until the public hearing, which will take place first and second, 2 months in a row. Is that, I know it's confusing.
So when is the public hearing?
The first public hearing will be,
November 18th.
sorry,
November 18th.
November 18th, and the second one will be December 9th. Each of our next council meetings, with the November 18th just being a week off because of Veterans Day. A week later.
Yes.
So,
Is it considered the first?
no, this is introduction.
Okay, so the September one was just us trying to say what you doing. Okay.
Yes.
So this is intro, and then we have 2 more to get through.
Correct. And the second one has an opportunity for council to vote.
Okay.
That's as soon as they could vote.
Okay.
So you just need to read the names and call them up.
So Justine Kuchar. Kuchar, did you want to say anything?
Want us to go to the next one? Okay.
Scan me, because I'm copying my shit out.
Okay.
Cheryl Siskin?
I would like to speak at the next one.
Okay.
At the next one, what?
Next meeting.
The next meeting?
No, the second citizen's privilege.
The second citizen's privilege is for things that are not on the agenda.
No. Oh, in that case.
We're just passing her so she can get a
So I
break.
can finish coughing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, come on
No,
up.
no, it's okay, finish, go. 'Cause I don't know if I'm done yet.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. Hi, thank you for letting me speak. I appreciate the effort that, my name is Cheryl Siskin.
And you,
I
please
do-
state your address.
I live in Rehoboth. I do not live in Ocean View. I appreciate the effort in trying to repair some of the infirmities in Ordinance 405 that I mentioned last month when we were here. And your revised ordinance is a lot better, a lot less offensive, in my opinion, to the Constitution. But there's a provision in there towards the end. I was just looking it up. Unfortunately, I didn't see copies back there, so I don't have the exact language. But there's something towards the end that says something like the person that files the permit is responsible for disorderly conduct by other people. And there's nothing in the law that supports that. I have lots of rallies, and there are many people that show up, and I am not in charge of them. They are individuals. Each person is responsible for themselves. So I think that that provision needs to be looked at. Also, by requiring that person, by pretending or assuming that you can put that liability on that person, that's a huge chilling effect on free speech. Because I'm not going to take that risk that any one of these people could have a fight with somebody. It's just not a reasonable restriction. It imposes too much of a burden on the permit process, which again would violate the provision, would be an example of prior restraint. Also, I don't even understand the attempt to limit spontaneous events, because they're spontaneous. They happen when they happen, and trying to say where they have to happen, I'm not sure is any better than anything that was in the prior ordinance in terms of creating a prior restraint. So you can't just say it has to be here. You can't limit where speech, spontaneous speech happens. I think it's beyond your purview, and you might want to rethink it before you get to your first reading of your first draft. And finally, I just wanted to point out that I would encourage you to separate the repeal from the revision, because right now 405 is in effect, technically, and it's sitting there. And if the new rule doesn't, if you don't adopt a new statute, then you haven't repealed 405, and it's going to sit on your books. And we have an issue with that sitting there for a prolonged period of time as a valid ordinance, because we do not consider it to be a valid ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you. Cindy Roberts.
Hi, my name is Sandy Roberts. I'm a permanent resident at 107 Canal Drive in South Bethany. It's obvious to me that with input from your council, you've spent the past 4 weeks making Ordinance 405 constitutional in an effort to get the ACLU to back off. It remains to be seen how successful you were in accomplishing that goal. My point in speaking is that prior to today, I have protested the ordinance with my voice by standing at the intersection of West Avenue and Route 26 with a sign every Saturday morning. Starting today, I will also be protesting with my wallet. I will not patronize a single business or restaurant within the town limits of Ocean View for as long as this ordinance remains in effect, and I will encourage all of my friends to do the same. As the recent cancellation and reinstatement of Jimmy Kimmel proved, some actions have financial consequences. Thank you.
Thank you. Ann Terrell.
Good afternoon.
State your name and address, please.
Hi, I'm Ann Terrio, 33160 Ogre Drive in Ocean View.
Sorry, I mispronounced the name.
Oh, everybody does, don't worry. Yeah, thank you for allowing me to speak today. I really just wanted to reiterate a number of the points that Cheryl Siskin had made about the ordinance. And in addition to just say, I'm not sure even why we need this ordinance. We haven't had, restriction of free speech or free assembly for all these years, and why this is coming up now, it doesn't seem to be something that Ocean View should be supporting, in my opinion. I am concerned about the spontaneous activity restriction. If I'm reading it correctly, it seems to be saying that if there's a spontaneous activity in response to some recent news that there's no time to get a permit, that activity is restricted to the street, which is, off the beaten track. Nobody sees, and I don't think people are really gonna know that that's happening when they are having a spontaneous reaction to something in the news. And, of course it has to be peaceful, of course it has to be safe, but it shouldn't be restricted, and I don't think that's appropriate to be restricting it to this particular street. And as far as the penalties for riots and the disorderly conduct that Cheryl was referring to, I couldn't tell who gets that fine. Is it the rioter? Is it the organizer? And I really take to heart, if it's the organizer especially, like how is somebody going to take responsibility for the action of every person? And I know that the organizer of a lot of the activities that have been happening recently have very, very clear goals of being peaceful, being safe, being respectful, not engaging in a negative way with other people. But people are people, and they're going to do what they do, and to hold the permit seeker, recipient responsible for that just really does seem like, why would anybody plan a permit, get a permit and be responsible for everybody else's conduct? And that is it's the antithesis of free speech. So I just wanted to put those concerns on. And I also do want to thank the town council for really giving obviously very serious thought to what was proposed last time and making the changes that they did. So thank you very much for hearing me.
Thank you. Doris Pierce.
Granny Slow. My name is Doris Pierce. I live at 30609 Cedar Neck Road. Thank you for having free speech here today. I'd like to say that I think that this ordinance is intended to suppress free speech. This is not necessarily a political partisan issue. It is the First Amendment privilege of a citizen to express their opinion without fear of punishment. Sign waving on a public sidewalk does not violate any issues. It is public space. Having to obtain a permit to stand on a public street at a location that you're thinking about designating is unreasonable and unconstitutional. I hope that you would look at this ordinance in the light of what it means. You may not agree with my protest sign, but I have that right to show my opinion. Just as I may not agree with your protest sign, but you have your right for an opinion. So I hope that this council will consider repealing the ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you. Donald Civilian. Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Can you state your name and your address?
My name's Don Cervellini.
Cervellini.
Yeah, 13 Indian Hill Lane,
13
Ocean View.
13 what?
Indian Hill.
Indian Hill. Go ahead.
I'll just take up just a minute of your time here. My understanding of this, you're trying to make it very difficult to have a peaceful protest. That's not right. Number two, you're telling me I can't wear a mask. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to wear a mask. My brother lost his life to COVID. I'm not losing mine. So, if I have to get arrested for wearing a mask, so be it. You're not going to kill me. My wife and I take very good care of ourselves. I don't like it. I don't know who came up with this idea, but it's bad. Maybe it should be rethought. That's all I have to say. But I'm going to tell you something. From what I've seen, I should say, heard, trying to make it awfully hard for people to have a peaceful protest. Thank you.
Thank you. Justine, did you want to get up now?
Justine Cuccia, Bethany Beach, and sorry for the coughing fit. Really sorry for everybody here, and I'm glad you have a mask on because of my coughing fit. I just want to say, not to reiterate what's been said before, but I want to say thank you for taking this attempt to rewrite this ordinance. I hope that that means that you are in agreement that you're going to repeal what has been put forth, that you're going to consider the new ordinance, and that you're going to take into consideration some of the suggestions that you're hearing today from people, specifically about the limiting the location for a spontaneous protest to just this area right in front here. I think that is, and I think it is unconstitutional because it is a spontaneous protest by its nature is going to arise because of some sort of political speech. Okay, you're not going to get a spontaneous protest over, I don't know, a cancer drive or something. People will be supporting of that. That's not going to be spontaneous. And to limit the political speech to just in front of this building or any place within Ocean View, it's too limiting. It's too much. You have to broaden that and make it where and how possible and peaceful. Another thing that I think that is also unconstitutional is the imposition of the fine, as said before, on the organizer of the protest. And I also think that it becomes oppressive. While $25 is not a exorbitant amount to charge for a permit, assuming you're going to ask for a permit once a year, that's wonderful. Twice a year, that's wonderful. Once a week, that is suppressive, and that is unconstitutional in my opinion. And I appreciate the fact that you have waivers built into it, but I don't know that they'll be granted, and that's just it's too amorphous. I do want to say thank you, because I have been someone who's been out there, probably where I got my call from, on Saturdays out there, and I will say that the police we've seen the police presence. They have been, I think, noticed that we were respectful. We did not block traffic. We did not interact with people. And I think we sometimes were more than 10 people, which would have been a violation of the current ordinance as it's written. And we had no problems. I don't think we caused you any problems, and I thank you for that. And I thank this town for that, for not enforcing the ordinance as it stands. And I ask you to consider, as you, first of all, repeal what stands, I ask you to consider what you've rewritten and take it a little bit farther, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right. Are there any further comments? Okay, if you can keep it to something that hasn't yet already been discussed.
I would like to just...
To the podium, please, and your name and address.
My name is Pam Peterson. I am from Frankfort, Delaware. As a local citizen and member of the Indivisible Southern Delaware group, I've been doing quite a bit of protesting lately. I'm also the current leader of the Social Justice Ministry at Community Lutheran Church, where several of our residents are members. It has come to my attention through many of them that they feel that their rights have been stepped on by this ordinance. And they have a lot of questions. One of them would be, what in the world caused the need for this ordinance? We're a small town. We have wonderful things going on here. We've got a great police department who, by the way, has helped us with our security issues at Community Lutheran Church, and we are thankful. We work together as community in these small southern Delaware towns, and there's really no need for this grave sense of control that has come about by your ordinance 405. And even the new ordinance to come has problems, as have been discussed. I'll suggest to you that if I'm watching TV and Pete Hegseth decides accidentally drop a bomb somewhere around here, it will have been evaluated, and he will probably have been fired before your 2-day permit could be handed out. We need to live in the fast media society that we are a part of. And you would be holding us back from doing the work of the citizenry if you were to continue with that controlled environment. Does your constituency need to be controlled? The state of Delaware's Constitution has more rights for the citizenry than the national Constitution has. Why would you choose to be more conservative than that? I have great hope that each of you had the need for good in your heart when you started this process. I can't swear to that, but I'm going to hope that. But remember, as council members, you represent everybody in this area. And you are not necessarily establishing with that ordinance the average view of this community as based on our presence here today. Spontaneous, peaceful protest is a lawful act and has been part of our country since before the Boston Tea Party. You have a wonderful little town here. We come here for lots of different things. My husband did chicken picking here one time.
You have 30 seconds now.
I mentioned your police department, stellar. I thank you for the work that you do. I have been cornered in a grocery store as a school board member, and I assure you it was difficult. And I do not abide people giving servants a bad time. But 405 is unfinished. It needs a lot more work. Take a look at the state statutes and the Constitution, and please reconsider. Thank you.
You may stand up. State your name and your address.
My name is Barbara Katz. It's spelled K-A-T as in Tom, Z as in zebra. I live in Bethany Beach. I hadn't planned on speaking here today, but particularly after hearing some of the other comments, I felt I wanted to, because I'm here partly because I'm honestly bewildered about why you enacted this ordinance. And even I've just within the last few minutes seen the revised version of the ordinance, which still seems to me to have so many problems related to the restrictions on time, money involved, size of the group. We have had many peaceful demonstrations in Bethany Beach this year. I've attended some of them. They've been fabulous. They haven't caused property damage. They haven't scared away tourists. They haven't required expenditures of funds afterwards, as far as I can tell by the town to clean up. We're having another one this weekend, and we contacted the town of Bethany Beach to see if we needed any kind of permit whatsoever, and the answer is no. We expect to have up to 100 people. So honestly, I'm asking you to re-examine why you did this in the first place and why you feel you need to continue doing this. I was particularly taken by the comment of one of the speakers who mentioned her decision not to spend any more money in Ocean View. I spend a lot of money in Ocean View. I patronize many of the businesses here, and I think that's a great idea, and I am not going to patronize any of the businesses here while this sort of ordinance is on the book. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
On the list, nasty.
Yes, you may.
I'm writing your names down.
Name and address, please.
I did sign in. My name is Linda Teplica. I live here in Ocean View, 117 Oakmont Drive. I've lived in this area for 40 years. That might be longer than some of you. I used to live in that greenhouse right across the street, and the kids at the school where I taught at Lord Baltimore would play in this park and yell across the street to me. I'd like you to look at this ordinance from the point of view as a teacher who's trying to teach the Constitution. I've taught 32 years at Lord Baltimore, worked with hundreds, thousands of children. I really think you need to consider educating them in the Constitution of the United States as you look at this ordinance again. Thank you for the opportunity.
Hi, my name is Samantha Maloney Gracie. I live in Rehoboth.
Did you sign in?
I did sign in, yes.
You did? Okay, I'm looking for it. Go ahead.
It's a scratch.
I found you. And where did you say you live?
I live in Rehoboth.
Okay.
Two things. One thing is that if there is anywhere in the United States that tries to stop free speech, then as an American, I am going to go wherever that is and fight for the rights of everyone in America to speak freely. Number two, I am with Indivisible Southern Delaware, and I am in charge of the Saturday Sign Wave on the north side of the highway. This weekend, we had someone that came out and assaulted one of our members, got out of the car, berated us, and assaulted one of our members. Most of our members, a lot of them are here. You're going to see that we're senior citizens. I'm not quite a senior yet, but we are a totally nonviolent group. So what happens if I sign a permit for a permit here and we have a problem that's not because of us? Am I held accountable for that? Am I going to be held accountable because counter-protesters come and cause us problems? So I don't understand how you can hold somebody responsible for that, because I can't control whether somebody parks their car and jumps out and assaults us. If we had three or four cop cars that showed up for that, is that my fault? Is that our fault? Are we going to be held accountable for that if we do that here? So I think that is a terrible part of your ordinance, and I think that should be relooked at. I do thank you for relooking at it from the first time. I was here last month, and I do appreciate that. And I thank you for the time.
Thank you. In the back?
I did not sign in. My name is Marcia Dudley, and I am at 7 Somerville Court in Ocean View. I am, well, you don't know my address. Anyway,
Where are you from? I'm sorry.
Ocean View.
Okay. Just get closer to the mic.
I am asking you to discontinue this entire ordinance. There is something called freedom of speech and freedom of assembly. You are telling me, I just turned 80, you're telling me that I can't do it unless I do. Well, that's not American. We are supposed to, things are going crazy right now. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but we have got to do something to express ourselves. And we don't go out and do nasty things. We are doing things that we believe we need to express ourselves and say, we don't like it. The average age, and you probably know this, in Ocean View is 65. We are not a rabble-rouser group. We are not going in here going crazy. I mean, you know, we don't need to be responsible for anybody else. We need to be responsible for ourselves, and we need to be able to come out. When I want to come out and I've heard something, I go into the grocery store and get something, and I come out and all hell's broken loose. That's what's happening every day, every moment. If I want to go out and say, we can't do this, let's get together and, we're not doing this, I need to be able to do it. But you're telling me I have too many hoops. I don't want to jump through them. In the 60s, when we changed things, we changed them by laws. We didn't do what we're doing now. So I'm just asking you to totally get rid of the entire thing, be like Bethany, be like Rehoboth, be like every other place, and let these 65 plus and under people just please let us have freedom of speech and freedom of assembly.
Any other questions? Yes.
I'm signed in. It's Teresa Mulliken. Like many others here, I live very close to Ocean View. I don't live in Ocean View. There's no really big line across 26 that tells us when we're in one place or another. We all shop here, we live here, we enjoy the area here, and I was really excited to hear about the new natural area that's being worked on, and I'm sure I'll be coming to visit. I'm looking for some additional information on process. When I was here at the previous meeting in September, I remember that an ordinance was, I had thought, introduced to repeal Ordinance 405. I had a copy of it, didn't have a number, and so that's why, again, and I know maybe the explanation can be forthcoming, but I thought that it had been introduced and or it was the first reading, and I am trying to learn the procedures here. I can see you shaking your head, and I'm probably not the only one here.
Because it's procedural, because you are mistaken. You all came and talked, a lot of you came and talked, but nothing was introduced until today.
So the ordinance that didn't have a number to repeal 405 was
Nothing was introduced at the last meeting. This meeting, later, after we get through this section, there is an ordinance on the agenda to repeal and introduce a new ordinance.
Okay, so it was...
That would start the process for both of them. They both have to go through the same process, to get rid of one or to start one.
So all I know is that and again, thank you for the education. I printed it off the website in advance of the last meeting in September, so hence my confusion. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you very much. We're going to move on to new business. The introduction of ordinances. I need someone to read the ordinance.
Introduce it.
Dawn.
This one, right?
Hold on, I'm trying to get the quote up here.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to introduce an ordinance to repeal existing Chapter 77 and to establish guidelines and permitting process for community activities in town parks and on town-owned property by adopting a new Chapter 77 titled Community Activities.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the resignation of Solicitor Veronica Faust. Did you want to say something?
Well, I'd just like to say, Mayor, that I've been very honored to serve the town, and I want to thank the council and the mayor and town staff. We're going to miss you, and I have some upcoming projects and things that I need to return my attention to my private practice. And I also want to say that I know I don't get a vote, but I am highly in favor of the town manager's recommendation for Conley Gallagher to take my place. I know that they will do a fine job for you.
Thank you. On behalf of the town of Ocean View, thank you for your service and for the care you've shown, and even as you prepare to move on. We wish you every success and happiness in your future endeavors. You've made many friends here, and we hope to see you in future events. What happened to the flowers?
Oh, I put them back there, right there in the front, blocking your face, but thank you
gave her
very
some
much.
flowers.
Thank you very much.
All right, discussion, consideration, and possible voting on a recommendation hiring of Colin Gallagher to fill town solicitor role.
Yes, Mayor and Council, as you're aware, we recently hired the law firm of Connolly Gallagher to serve as our special legal counsel to review an ordinance for the ordinance on the assemblies and on town property. Max Walton was therefore aware of the decision for Veronica to resign, and that caused him to make me aware that Connolly Gallagher had recently established a more formal counseling arm of its government practice that could likely quickly fill our needs while also providing some additional benefits, hopefully. The engagement with Colin Gallagher team affords Ocean View the benefit of a highly skilled team of 13 that focus solely on government to address the multitude of needs that may arise. Tanner Jameson, who's here tonight with Max Walton, was hired by Connolly Gallagher specifically for this solicitor role and will benefit from the direct orientation of Mr. Walton, who has extensive experience representing local, county, and state government as solicitor and special counsel. Ocean View team members were provided the opportunity to meet with Mr. Walton for him to explain how the process would work. As a result, I and our department directors feel that very confident that this plan outlined by Mr. Walton would be a good option for our organization moving forward. I therefore recommend that Mayor and Council appoint Connolly Gallagher, LLP, to serve as town solicitor effective November 1, 2025.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
Is there a time frame to that? I mean, is it open-ended or just in?
It typically continues unless Mayor and Council were would want to vote otherwise.
Right.
It's an appointment of council.
If there are no further questions, I need a motion.
Mr. Mayor, motion to appoint Connolly Gallagher, LLP, to serve as town solicitor effective November 1st, 2025.
All in favor?
Aye.
Who said second?
So passes.
Who was second?
Jay.
Jay.
So passes 4-0. Thank you. Congratulations. You want to say something?
Thank you all for having us, and we look forward to serving Ocean View. I'd be remiss if I didn't say we have big shoes to fill with Veronica going into, focusing on our private practice. I know she's treated you guys very well. We have a long, good relationship, and I know that will continue. We will do our best to fulfill the role, probably in a little bit different fashion, but we look forward to working with everyone.
Thank you. Moving on to discussion, consideration, and possible voting on a recommendation to approve Eastgate Boulevard pipe replacement at the deep hole prong number 4. Ken?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This project has been long in the making. Myself and the town engineer began working on this project with DENREC in 2020, shortly after the COVID, everything reopened back up for COVID. Advertisements soliciting sealed bids for contract number OVPZ&D 2603 were placed in local newspapers and the town's website. Bid proposals were accepted by the town manager at the municipal building located at 201 Central Avenue on Monday, September 29, 2025. This work involves furnishing all labor, materials, transportation, tools, supplies, and equipment necessary to remove and replace the existing pipe culvert under Eastgate Boulevard in the Avon Park community. 7 sealed bids were received and opened. They're listed below. The low bidder was Richard E. Pearson Construction Company, Incorporated. for $212,457. A complete review and summary of the bids was performed by Mike Bialco, construction manager, Bialco Consulting, and is attached for your review. Funding is available for these improvements in the FY25 and FY26 capital budget. That also includes $35,000 that was provided by DENREC for this project, and the total amount of $224,680. It is therefore recommended that the mayor and council authorize the town manager to enter into a contract with Richard E. Pearson Construction Company Incorporated for the total bid amount of $212,457.
Thank you. Any questions for Ken?
No.
Ken, I appreciate your help with that. Since I live not far from where this is being done, your persistency for all these years to get this done is unprecedented. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
I need a recommendation.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a recommendation or a motion awarding the contract to Richard E. Pearson Construction Company Incorporated for the sum of $212,457,000.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So passes 4-0. The next item is discussion, consideration, and possible voting on a recommendation to bring facility cleaning in-house.
Yes, Mayor and Council, members of the public. Last week, our current contractor, who services our facilities alone, advised us of her decision to no longer provide office cleaning services. Her last week of cleaning will be October 26th. Moving forward, we had the decision to make whether we would recruit another contractor or firm to take on our requirement. However, it's my recommendation that we bring the work in-house under our Public Works Department. The reasons for this recommendation is past experience in hiring cleaning services is mixed with many firms not being able to commit to having a consistent person or persons entering our facilities after hours to perform the service. This is problematic for many reasons. The Public Works Facility Maintenance Team members have stepped in during vacation and sick days of our existing contractor and completed additional cleanings that become necessary because of a result of special events or training programs at 201 Central or this building, 32 West, and our outdoor restrooms for the park. The Public Works team is already tasked with facility maintenance and various daily and weekly inspections of our facilities and are therefore very familiar with them. Bringing the cleaning of our facilities in-house offers a greater flexibility and continuity of service, as well as a limited number of staff with access to the facilities, including the police department. How would we facilitate this if you're so inclined to take this recommendation? We would increase our part-time Public Works facility maintenance team by 1. That would bring us up to 3 part-time employees. That's a part-time employee that does not have benefits. We do have 2 currently, and it has been really successful for us. Public Works Facility Operations Manager Matt Martin will supervise this new responsibility and manage the schedule, ensuring our cleaning needs are met, as well as that of other responsibilities of the division. It's my recommendation that we do this and we have the opportunity to evaluate through the end of this fiscal year to determine if it's successful, and if so, we can continue it in the FY27 budget, which would start next May. The funding budgeted for the cleaning of the facilities is $36,000 in the FY26 budget, and the funds remain available to support the addition of 1 part-time employee without impacting this year's budget. So I do recommend that Mayor and Council authorize me to recruit 1 additional part-time employee, as noted in the recommendation, to supplement the Public Works Facility Maintenance Division and facilitate bringing our cleaning of our facilities in-house.
Thank you. Any questions for the town manager?
No.
If not, then I need a motion.
Mr. Mayor, motion to authorize the town manager to recruit for 1 additional part-time employee as noted in this recommendation to supplement the Public Works Facility Maintenance Division and facilitate bringing the cleaning of town facilities in-house.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So passes 4-0.
Thank you.
We're now moving into the second citizen's privilege. If you spoke on the first one, you cannot speak about the same subject on the second one. So is there anyone who wants to speak? If not, then I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So passes. Thank you.